Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking you through 5 reasons why Gymshark has become a $1.45 billion company. An incredible achievement for a British entrepreneur, something that we should all be proud of in the world of business in the UK. Ben's done a fantastic job of building that company up from where he started it to where it is today. So I'm going to run you through 5 reasons and why I think they've been able to do that you might be able to implement into your entrepreneurial journey. So number 1, he stuck to what he knew. He was a fitness fanatic before Gymshark. He was a bit of a bodybuilder. He was part of that community and he'd tried businesses before. He'd had 2 apps, one that was quite successful, that was all around fitness, and then he'd started the Gymshark brand as a supplements company, giving him that insight into the industry. He then built the business he's got today from when he ordered some stock to go onto his website and it wasn't what he wanted. There wasn't anything there for him, so he decided to make his own product. So he knows that industry. He knows what was missing from that industry. He knew where that gap in the market was because he was one of them himself. So by meeting his own needs, he was able to differentiate himself from his competitors, which kind of leads me on to point number 2, which is be part of your community. If you're part of your community, you understand your own customer. By making yourself your own customer, you give yourself a competitive advantage to people who are outside your community trying to sell in. And that's what Ben did. He was part of that community. He called upon people within that community. And he's still, to this day, when you look at his videos, he refers to them as the Gymshark community. And one of the core values of Gymshark, the company, is family, which is quite an interesting term to use because they kind of embody anyone who's an athlete, an artist, or a visionary within that. So if you're any one of them and you're a customer as well of Gymshark, then you are part of this family, which is a great way to build community. And also they listen a lot to their community. They put a lot of polls out, a lot of research, and they give them what they want. They don't just put out empty questionnaires and things like that. They do polls on Twitter, and whatever you answer, that's what they'll then focus on, giving them back to their community in the future. So if there's a certain colour that people like or a certain style that they like, they'll give them more of that, which is absolutely fantastic. Number 3 is find where the underpriced attention is. A key point here is that when Ben started Gymshark, he was using influencer marketing and it didn't even have a name yet. That's how early he was. That's how underpriced his attention was. If he was to try and start doing the same thing again now, using the same kind of level and size of influencers that he used when he started out, it would cost him a hell of a lot more. So finding where that undervalued attention is key to making a success, and it gives you that ability to grow faster than anyone else because you can spend more on that attention. Another thing that Gymshark are doing at the moment, which is a big signal to all of us as entrepreneurs, is they are investing heavily in TikTok, a new wave, a new generation of influencers and a new generation of customers coming through there for them, and they're focusing heavily upon that. So it says a lot about what they think about that platform, and if it's good enough for Gymshark, then it's good enough for the rest of us. Number 4 is probably a bit more of a generic business tip. It's one that we hear as part of most people's business stories. There's nobody at the top that hasn't done this, and that is hard work. Ben was taught to sew by his grandma. When he started out, he had no understanding of it, so he taught himself through his grandma. He made every product that went out to his customers was touched by him at some point in the very early days. He says about he had 10 products to make and he knew he could do 12 in a day. Imagine doing 12 a day with the kind of order volumes that they've got nowadays. But it just shows how hard he worked alongside university, alongside bodybuilding, alongside a job at Pizza Hut as well. He put everything, all the spare time he had into this, and that just shows that you need to be able to work hard. And number 5 is one that, again, is probably coming across most business journeys. It's one that we hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about. It's one that's probably a lot harder to quantify than hard work. Hard work, you know if you're working hard or not, but taking risks, because the whole point of a risk is that it could go wrong. So how do you take risks? Well, Ben's taken some pretty big risks throughout his Gymshark journey, and it's something that Gymshark continue to want to do. As well as family, they have progression and vision as their core values, making up their 3 core values, and they want to be at the forefront of their industry. Any idea, big or small, within their organisation, they're going to test it and try and make it into reality. So going back to the beginning of the journey, because that's where they are now, he spent everything. He cleared the bank account to get that first stall at the bodybuilding expo that made Gymshark. Well, it kind of kick-started their journey. And he paid for that a year before he went to the expo. He was at the expo, spotted a gap in the market and said, how do we get here? What can we afford? Emptied the bank account. And then that year he spent working towards that day. And again, spent everything he had getting his first manufactured product to market in the Luxe tracksuit. Something that was a huge hit. And without that, I don't think we'd know the Gymshark brand today. It was massive. They had to pretty much shut down their site because it sold out so well. But that was a huge risk. To spend all of that money at the very beginning of your journey on one area it's a risk, and that's what you got to take as an entrepreneur. You got to take risks, and some people say it's luck, some people say it's judgment. You know, I'm not one to say what it is, but risk is a huge part of success, and something that's helped Gymshark become the $1.45 billion company that it is today. So just to recap, the 5 different reasons I think Gymshark are the business they are today is because they've stuck to what they know. They've made themselves a part of the community. They are part of that community, no doubt. They've found underpriced attention, hard work, and taken risks. If there's anything else you think that Gymshark have done, any other comments, then please do let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you're enjoying these videos, make sure to let me know. I'll do a review of another business. But until next time, thanks for watching.